Well, it is a wonderful evening, and it's exciting to have everyone here. Thank you all for joining on our Why Should I Buy This TIC? And there are a lot of great advantages to TIC. They're very misunderstood. There's a lot of people who don't say positive things because they don't really understand them. And when they don't understand something, they tend to just try to brush it to the side, which creates a lot of opportunity for people who can actually understand what they're looking at. We're joined here today by John Ybarra from Meriwest, and they are a specialty lender in the field of the TIC realm, and you have probably some of the better products available in the market for loan products for this stuff at the moment. So thank you for joining us, John.
Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So we're gonna basically, I have on our screen here the property that we're looking to kind of talk about. We've got a 2-bed, 1-bath with parking, in-unit laundry, kind of classic Edwardian flat in the Mission on SVN 1419, kind of down towards the Bernal end of South Venice, and it's listed for $849 for about 1,000 square foot of a place with parking. This is the building here. So, John, can you, first off, one of the things that's interesting with TICs is on the lending end, you get a fractional loan, and a fractional loan is a specialty product. Can you tell me a little bit about kind of what Meriwest would do for this property as regards, down payment and all of that good stuff?
Yeah, so the great thing is at this purchase price, this loan amount or purchase price amount would qualify for a loan with as little as 15% down for those who qualify. It does come with mortgage insurance to protect the loan with that lower down payment, but it does allow the buyer to come with it as little as 15% down. Most TIC lenders like to see 20 or 25% down. That is their hard stop. We, when the loan amounts are under 1.5, we do allow 15% down. We have a 30-year fixed, a 10-6 arm, and a 7-6 arm, and a 5-6 arm. The 30-year fixed is very popular right now. It is fixed for 30 years, but you are eligible to refinance at any time once the rates do hopefully go down. You could always refinance out of that loan and refinance into a much lower rate. We are one of the first lenders to offer the 30-year fixed, so we're very proud of that. And I'm really a proponent of that product because, as Eddie alluded to, fractional TIC financing has always gotten a little bit of some negative connotations out there, and it's not fair. When you find a TIC in San Francisco, they look just like every other condo. These are real properties, and they deserve the best financing that's available. So that's what we are offering at this time.
And that's kind of one of the big advantages with TICs, because these are all traditional classic San Francisco buildings in classic San Francisco neighborhoods where there isn't any room to build any newer stuff. So, when you're looking at newer condos in kind of Soma or South Beach or Mission Bay, that's a newer, everything's brand new. It's a different, like, if you're into that, that's cool. But if you want, like, traditional Mission, you want North Beach, you want Pack Heights, you want Russian Hill, you want these kind of very San Francisco spots, a TIC is a very much more affordable way to get that than a condo or a single family. So so that's a number one, I would say, from a buy standpoint. And the funny thing we find is because they're very similar to the kind of ownership setup is a little different, but they live very like stock cooperatives in New York. So we get a lot of New Yorkers who get it straight away. They come into San Francisco, they're like, oh yeah, these TICs are great, love them.
Mhm.
But you get, Californians or other states where they don't have that type of property ownership, and people are like, well, I don't get it. So if I don't get it, there must be something wrong with it.
And this is what I say to that, Eddie. I educate the buyers and the borrowers on this topic a lot. And the reason is there is some fear to the ownership structure when you have shared ownership. But what you need to realize as a potential buyer is you own real property in a real city that has the ability to value up, appreciate, and value down, just like every other property in America. But these are real properties in a very a city that people want to live in. It's always been a transient city. People come in, people leave. So it's always going to be a hot property. Even in these lull moments, it's still a hot market for this type of property. And so what you need to know as a potential borrower is that your loan is separate from everybody else in the building. The only thing that you're sharing are property taxes and insurance for the buildings. But other than that, you have your own entity with your own exclusive rights to your unit and your parking and any storage that comes with it. So it is real property in a real city.
Yeah.
Just to thank you for saying that, John, because I think a lot of the misunderstanding or stigma around TICs comes from when they were created in the 80s and there was a group loan on the property. Yes. We're not doing group loans. I mean, unless you really trust your friends or family, go for it. But that's why we're calling it fractional. It's your own loan. And so I think a lot of people misunderstand and think that you're still sort of financially getting really involved with these other owners, where you're really only sharing the property taxes, and those are collected just like HOA dues are in a condo. And so you're having a little bit of a default fund just in case, which you also do in a condominium. So it really, if it looks like a condo and it acts like a condo, it can also be a TIC, is what I like to say. And yeah. I mean, as you can see, like scrolling through these photos, this particular TIC, you can get a 2-bed, 1-bath, updated, beautiful unit with character and your own laundry and your own parking in a great location for $849,000, which is like just unheard of. If it were a condo, it would be dramatically more. And I think that the other thing to point out too is, like, just speaking for other owners in the building, those owners either, qualified for a fractional loan, right, at one time. I mean, they may have bought it with cash, but that also speaks to the quality of the owner. Because I think if you could explain this a little bit, but like in terms of just the qualifications to be a TIC borrower, it's a very high bar, right?
It is. And thank you for mentioning that, because I do have some facts on that exact topic. In 2010, post-2008 financial crisis. In 2010, a lot of lenders were still knee-deep in the foreclosure process and selling off negative assets, properties that they foreclosed on. I worked for the largest TIC lender where we had 65% of the market share. And in that year alone, we had only three foreclosed TICs. And the reason, and that sounds, it's a small number, and we had over $650 million in outstanding loans for just TICs. So 3 is nothing. They are hard to track as far as foreclosures because there are so few of them that actually take place. And the reason for that is that bar for the borrower. Most of the borrowers that are in fractional TICs are very, very well qualified, come in with significant assets, come in with great credit scores, come in with good reserves, and have shown their ability to repay their loans on time. And so as a lender, I take pride in knowing that the borrowers that I put into these buildings are going to live up to that standard. And that's what we look for at Meriwest. We look for the borrower who's going to be a member of that project and community and to keep it moving forward and structurally sound, literally.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Which,
I think
yeah,
creates community a little bit more too, and which is really nice and what a lot of people come to San Francisco for.
Yeah.
So it's really like, if you buy a condo in the same size building, you actually don't necessarily know if they're financially sound on the other side. So it is a little bit more secure in a sense.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. And I have to also point out again and reiterate what Eddie said earlier. This unit, you can tell it's iconic San Francisco. You don't get molding and wainscoting in newer condos. You're just not going to see it.
Yeah.
So this is not a cookie cutter type property. This is a iconic, unique San Francisco building. And that's what you're buying. And that, I mean, to be quite honest, that is a great price. I mean, I have seen 1,000 a square foot as the minimum in many, many years. So this is a really good price point for that property. So good luck to any buyer who gets it, because that's a great opportunity.
Thanks, John.
yeah, that's what we're excited for, and wanting to get the word out. The one of the last things that I would kind of close up with too is the interesting thing about the environment we're in right now, where we have some on the condo end of things, FHA kind of financing and stuff like that, where really weaker buyers benefit in a market where they're using government-backed loan products, where they can have a lower credit score and they can have a 5% down payment and purchase into some of these larger condo buildings. Whereas the unique thing about a well-qualified buyer for San Francisco going for a TIC, there is that, you still have to, in the old sense of the word, have good credit and a decent down payment. So it's and that helps. That's what really keeps the price lower than condos. You're not competing against weaker buyers. You're only competing against quality buyers like yourself, which is a smaller pool of buyers, and therefore the pricing can be, as much as 20% in the difference for what an equivalent condo would be. So and being, a bargain shopper, I like it when if I can buy something for 20% cheaper than something next door that happens to be a condo, I think I want to go with the cheaper one.
We love a deal. We love a deal.
Everybody wants a deal. Yeah,
Love a deal.
Absolutely.
So, is there, anything as far as somebody getting introduced to Meriwest right now? Like, we connect them with you and John. Then how long does the process take for them to be able to get pre-approved and ready to go?
Yeah, the pre-approval process is really fast. It takes me 24 business hours to get back to the potential borrower once I have their complete application. It is a little bit of a laundry list as far as the items, but I hit you hard up front so that I can get you qualified so you go out and shop with confidence. Once you have that pre-approval letter in your hand, you can submit the offer and we can close your loan in 30 days or less. But 24 business hours is what it takes for the pre-approval. And I'll be able to tell you what you qualify for, what your maximum purchase price would be, and then you can move from there.
And I will say, just as a small plug for John, we've worked with every TIC lender out there because we love to sell TICs, and John is awesome and the best and just quick and easy. And we've never had, there's always something that comes up in an escrow, and really we've had such a smooth process together. So I highly recommend John.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Hayley.
Awesome. Yeah. Any parting as we wrap up? Words or advice? Contact Elevation Real Estate if you want to learn more about TICs. We will get you up to speed. We do have many people who are, looking at condos and TICs. You don't have to be one way or the other way. We can kind of walk you through the nuances of all of it. And there a lot of times when we get phone calls off of people who are like, hey, I saw something I really want to buy, they're looking on Zillow. Zillow doesn't know how to differentiate from a TIC to a condo. And because it's like a cool property and it's at a cool price, 9 times out of 10, that phone call is somebody who's looking at a TIC and they didn't even know they were looking at a TIC.
I love when people are shopping for both at the same time, because they start to see the bang for the buck that you get with a TIC immediately, right? Because they're going from the $1 million condo, and then the next one they see on a Saturday is an $850,000 TIC that's bigger and better. So I think it's actually really fun to shop for both at the same time. Can really see the value.
I agree.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone. Appreciate it. John, quickly tell us how we would find you, your contact information.
So my cell phone number is the best. You could text or call me at 925-577-0578, or you can email me at JY as in yellow, B as in boy, ARRA at Meriwest.com, MERIWEST.com. Happy to help any new buyer, potential buyer, get into the property of their dreams. It's a really simple process. So give me a call, and that's free. There's no application fee.
Perfect. And then Hayley, if somebody was trying to get in contact with Elevation Real Estate, how do they do it?
They can go to elevationrealestate.com and send us a note right there, or they can shoot us a DM on Instagram, because we're cooling on Instagram too, and that's at Elevation SF. Or feel free, of course, to reach out to any of us, Hayley or Eddie or Monica at elevationrealestate.com.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have an awesome night.
Thank you.